Hello and welcome to the Rose Rehash in Paradise. I'm Jared Freid. We are here every night after The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or The Bachelor in Paradise to give a brief, we're going to go over one main theme from the episode, and then we're going to give out superlatives, and then we're going to give out awards, and that'll be our episode. It's going to be a quick one tonight. It's late. For some reason, they decided to have a 3-hour episode. I have no idea why. I guess they're just trying to race towards the end for next week's season finale. But before we do anything, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. If you agree, if you disagree, all are welcome. Let me know what you think about tonight's rehash. Let's start. Also, I'll be in Austin, Texas this weekend doing shows, jaredfreid.com to get tickets. Let me just tell you right now. Let's talk about Noah and Abigail. I think that's the most interesting part of this whole episode, this 3-hour saga. Noah tells Abigail, and you could tell there's been a disconnect. And even the one date that we went on with Noah and Abigail, she even said, I keep people in the friend zone. I go a long time with people, and then we kind of just never really in a relationship. And as someone who's pushing for someone to show you their feelings, I can understand that that's got to be frustrating. So we have Noah in this situation where he's like, I'm going to tell Abigail that I'm falling in love with her. And he tells her, and she gives him literally nothing. She doesn't say a word. She doesn't even make a reaction. And there's not even an excitement. And then we get to the next night. We're at that 80s prom, and Abigail says, well, I think Noah said he was falling for me, and he said it really quick. So I don't know if, so I didn't really react to it. And it feels like revisionist history to me. It feels like someone said to her, hey, Noah's kind of getting weird about this relationship. He said he's falling for you. And now you're going back and going, well, let me look at it a different way. Well, he said it so quick, so now I don't know, and I didn't get to react. And it's like, no. If someone said they're falling for you and you really felt it, you wouldn't wait till that night to be like, well, then tonight I'm going to tell him that I'm maybe falling for him too. And it's like, I see what Noah's doing. And Noah's in a frustrating position. And again, to me, they're both lying to one another. Noah is trying to use feelings to produce feelings. He's trying to give her feelings and emotions so that she'll give it back to him, and she's not giving it back to him. And because she's not giving it back, he's going, let me review my feelings. And they get to the prom, and Noah pulls her aside and says, hey, I'm just not, I've been trying this whole time to get to the point where you're my person, and I'm just not there. And I'm going to have to pull back on what this is. And Abigail accuses him of lying. That's my issue. It's not the idea of whether Abigail should be in love with him or falling for him. It's the idea that she's now accusing him of being the bad guy because he's reacting to her reaction. Love is on a spectrum. It goes up and down. It's on a graph. Abigail lives in a world where it is turn on, turn off. And that's just not my belief of how it works. Noah tried to produce emotion with emotion. I don't think that's a great way to go, but that's the way he went. He says, I'm falling for you, to see what her reaction will be so that he can say to himself, now I'm convinced. And I heard that in his voice. That was in his explanation. He said he kept trying to make it happen, and he's now reacting to him trying to make it happen in her reactions to what he's saying. So I totally understand where he's going. I told you I was falling for you. Your reaction didn't get me excited about it, and now I'm going to pull back. And now she's accusing him of lying because she's like, you can't say I'm falling for you and then take it back. Well, how do you explain divorce? How do you explain a marriage that goes bad? How do you explain any love that disappears over time? That's the way it works, Abigail. So it's not really the point that I'm mad at Abigail for not giving him emotion. That's okay. We all do these things differently. But to call him a liar, I really don't feel that that's you giving a fair opportunity to Noah, who's trying to get you to where he's at. And that's really where it is. And listen, we could look at Noah and go, well, you shouldn't have to try to get someone to go where you're at. And it's like, I can understand that. That to me is human. And I guess what Abigail's doing is human as well. But the accusation that he's a liar because he pulled back on the I love you is like, no, he saw you react. He saw you not react to his falling for you. And he said to himself, you know what? This ain't right for me. Let's go to some superlatives. The first one we're going to do is the hottest couple, Joe and Serena. Joe and Serena seem to be doing it. I mean, I didn't buy it at first because I thought Serena was just kind of playing like, yeah, this is fun, whatever. But it does feel like they're an actual couple. It feels like Joe is leading the way. He's trying to make this serious. They're prom king and queen. Everyone on the beach knows it. It's interesting that when everyone got the chance to vote for king and queen, there's other couples that have been going as long as Joe and Serena, and they didn't get voted for. So you have to believe that they're the couple of the island. The hottest, most eligible. Tia is so Tia, for there's something about her, just the way she is. I am like so in on Tia. The fact that she's like, just the way she is in the general gist of this island. And you saw it at the end. Aaron's like, I gotta take this chance. I gotta take a shot at Tia. And I can understand that. She is hot. And I don't know what it is about her, but it seems there's this coolness. Maybe it's that I found out she has a PhD. That makes it a different story. So I'm going to give it to Tia. The clown, Riley. Riley yells at Aaron for coming after Ivan because Riley bought Ivan's lies. Ivan lies and says that Chelsea pulled him aside instead of the other way around, which was actually it was. And Riley takes Ivan's side, which is fine. You're taking your friend's side. But afterwards, you got to apologize. Dude, you yelled at him in front of everyone when you thought you had the upper hand, and then you don't take it back? Where you should, and you're looking at Ivan being like, that's not, oh man, you made me look bad. How about you go to Aaron and go, I look bad. Admit to it. And let's go to our awards. The Batchies is where I give coconuts to my favorite contestants and crabs to my least favorite. We'll start with the crabs. First crab goes to Ivan.
Ouch.
Ivan, you added lie onto lie onto lie and then tried to make other people look bad based on your lie. And then the biggest problem I have with Ivan is that he does the Bachelor thing, which is they all blame mental health and they blame that I'm looking for love. And it's like, Ivan, you're sitting here being like, oh, I was so lonely that I had to sneak out of my hotel room and find a woman that hasn't even been on the show yet. Ivan, come on. I understand. It's hard to be on the island. It's hard when you're not matched up with anyone. But to sit there and kind of hint at this was a mental thing where you were so sad and so down, just own it. Yeah, I was trying to hook up and I'm trying to stay on the island. And Chelsea was someone that was willing to meet me and I was willing to do anything to get ahead. Fine. I respect that more than you going, well, things are so hard here and I don't know. I guess I lost myself along this love journey. Stop it. Let's do the next crab. Is going to go to Abigail.
Ow.
Abigail, to call him a liar is just not the move. Fine. You want to be mad at him. You want to be upset at him. You want to say, hey, you used emotion to get me to give you more emotion. So you led me to this place where now I'm falling in love with you and now I'm embarrassed. Fine. But to call him a liar, I don't buy it. I'm on team no on that one. Last crab is going to go to ABC. A 3-hour episode, 3 hours. I could have taken a flight to Miami in the time it took this episode to happen. We spent 10 minutes where Wells goes, let me introduce you to the secret host. And then they come down to the beach and it's Wells again. Did we need that scene? Did we need that scene? Did we need the priestess talking to Mari and Kenny? Did we need the snake during the massage date? There was so much dead air during this episode. 3 hours and is an insult to me. What? So we could watch Melissa Joan Hart on a commercial that took 30 minutes? Just treat us like adults. Let's go to the coconuts. First coconut is going to go to the priestess. The priestess was great. She asked more questions than any of the hosts have asked combined. She got to the bottom of Mari and Kenny in 10 minutes with that cup of smoke. And why do we even have Lance Bass here? We should have the priestess here asking questions, getting into the mud of these people's relationships to figure out what's going on. I wish the priestess was asking Noah and Abigail questions. The next coconut is going to go to whoever thought of the prom event. The prom was great. I loved it. The people, because it was such a small dance, it was very obvious if someone made a move. So when Aaron took Tia aside, it became like an 80s movie. It became like a coming of age movie. It all made sense. I loved the attire. I loved the event. I loved that it happened. I love that they blew it up. Was a huge fan of the prom. Perfect penultimate episode of Bachelor in Paradise. I actually think there should be a prom on every Bachelor season. And the last coconut is going to go to the band. That band was better than any no-name American Idol runner-up that we've ever had on this show. The band, whatever they were, they should be brought to America. They should live in the mansion forever, and they should play at every event that they do for the rest of the Bachelor franchise. That band should be a part of the show as much as any host, as much as anything that we've ever seen on the show. The band was great. Play the covers, play the hits, be the background music to this whole show. It was perfect. Love how they sang. Don't need to know who they are. I don't need the fake promotion for the fake American Idol winner. Give me that band every single season. Let's do some more questions. Why are Kenny and Mari getting so much screen time? Is it indicative that they'll most likely be an engaged couple? I think that has something to do with it. I think it has something to do with how this will end with them. I mean, Kenny, it is interesting to watch Kenny, a 40-year-old man who's never been married, no kids, has only said I love you to his dog, go through the mental crap of being a man who has to commit. And you see it. And he keeps taking a foot out. And then Mari blames herself. It's Kenny. Every time Mari gives him an inch, he takes a mile. And you can tell he's wrestling with this idea of like, am I going to leave this beach and be in a serious relationship? Am I going to have to like figure out how to live with a woman when I've only lived in a studio apartment and I manage boy bands? It's pretty interesting. Let's go to the next question. What is your play of the game? I'm not sure I understand the question. Play of the game. Do we have a follow-up? Do you regret saying you were Team Ivan last week? No. I mean, I'm watching this along with you. Why would I regret the feeling that I had? Ivan, to me, you know, I think looking at it now, I go, yeah, Ivan looks like a bad dude, but that's, you know, listen, if you're playing honesty and anyone can lie to you. Anyone can give you a whole story. I thought Aaron, because of the way he reacts to things, he reacts with anger and with muscle. So when you react that way, it's hard to take that person's side. But he ended up being right. Aaron's actually been right about every person that he's kind of given a character diagnosis of. Thomas, Ivan, he's kind of gone down the line. Tammy, he's kind of gone down the line and been right every time. So it's time to start trusting Aaron. Do you think Abigail and Noah can fix their issues to stay through the end? I don't think they're meant to be together. I think Abigail and Noah are too much. They're cheered on by everyone else because they're the cute, quiet couple that doesn't bother anyone. People love a couple that doesn't bother them. People love someone that doesn't make waves. And they're a couple that doesn't make waves. They got nobody's way. So they're just happy that a couple exists. It happens all the time. But, you know, you could see they got voted most likely to like be together after the show. And you could see they kind of looked at each other like, we got huge issues here. And I would agree. Noah has been the idea that just because a couple's together mean they're okay is just not great to me. Let's do one more. My problematic son, Aaron, has been more or less a stand-up guy, and yet we've seen a villain at every turn. What's up with that? I think it's because of the way he is the way he reacts is very young, immature, and very male. It's very much like fist first. So he's always going to look bad. But again, I just said that, like, he's been right every time. His assessment of character has been correct. And I would also say his friendship with James feels like a real friendship. It feels like two men that speak to each other on a very personal level. So that makes me trust him more. Do we have any more? That's our episode. Back next week.